The other thing that I think that we are talking about infrastructure. President Obama, infrastructure, a key. I don't have anything to do with utilities. I don't live Washington, that don't quit you. So it's been a major, probably a major project for many of our legislature, like Senator Sosi, Ray Begay, and others. It's been their mind that one of the crucial needs that we have on native land in New Mexico, and then since I'm Navajo, I also know about the infrastructure needs in Arizona and also in Utah. But infrastructure need in New Mexico particularly, we are behind, according to the estimate, of about $1 billion. Now, how do you address infrastructure when you're behind? And this is just plain potable water, water and wastewater, and electricity. How many of you know a family right now, this morning, that are waking up, that have houses, that have electric lights all installed and everything in their home, but they live about 20 or 30 miles away from the grid, and they don't have no electricity, and then in the corner they got wood stove to heat their homes. Or you know they got bathrooms and so on, but there's no system there, there's no water. And in turn, everybody has to use the old system to going outside. We know that. So with that in mind, New Mexico has set aside every year, just like Mr. President Joe Shirley, President Shelley, which we call severance bond. If we could float a severance bond, then we can get that type of money that we need for our infrastructure. New Mexico passed a severance bond every year. From now on, they pass a severance bond yearly. And out of that severance bond, Native Americans get 5%. Now, when you pass severance bond, it is a financial transaction. It also goes by according to the market. And it is a business instrument of creating capital and sometimes equity. So in doing that, it has to be paid. And New Mexico is paying through revenues, other leases and so on. They're paying for that severance bond. In turn, we get 5%. So what you're looking at is that 5% we estimate is going to be sold probably about July. It's going to be sold by April. If those of you that want to look in the Wall Street Journal and so on, if you want to look exactly what the bond market's doing. But if it's going to be, but right now we know bond markets are very strong. And we are estimating around about 13.5 approximate. I stand to be corrected. It changes every day because of the market, but it's around about 13.5 million that's going to be allocated for the Native American in the state of New Mexico. Thank you for the legislatures, the Native American legislatures, like Senator Sosi, that had the foresight to do that and be able to put that in place and be able to, for us to now work with that type of monies from the state of New Mexico for all New Mexico residents and chapters. So that's what we're here for this morning. The other thing is that I want to say is that we ask for, in my opinion, the way I define it is, I ask for kind of like an executive brief from all of you. What projects you want, the local people, what projects you want, and give us a number. And we did that with the 22 tribes, and we came up with, we received 86 projects. And it totaled beyond $60 million. Now I have 13 million. Now you, all of you that are sitting here know that with that 13 million could be our seed money, could be our leverage, so that we can probably stretch that as far as we can and see if we can work to get $60 million worth of project done. If we really work hard together on this, and my staff is right now gearing for it, I'm looking at it as a stimulus for jobs, because if you're looking at, we will show you how many of those is on the Navajo side. And so with that, you can look at it from the standpoint of, because we know we have sons and daughters right now that don't have jobs, but have been trained to be maybe a great backhoe operator or grader or in construction, but that need work. So once we do this and once we set these projects on, we're going to be stimulating jobs and economy in our local communities. That's one of our key purpose of pushing is seeing if we can do all 60 million, and trying. We're going to work like heck trying to get all the funding, all the grant money, dealing with HUD, dealing with USDA, and so on. So, but we also need your help to do that. The third area is that we could probably go back to our leaders in New Mexico and ask for additional capital outlay and see if we can go ahead and get additional money so we can go ahead and get as much as the projects that we can do for 2012 out of the 86. And today we're going to reveal to you the Navajo numbers and where they're at, and also what we would like to do. Council delegates that are here, we would like to see from tribal government what is also your priorities. Now, one of the things that we were told by our legislatures, they said, we want the proposals to come out of the local people. Let's hear what the people want. That's who we represent. So there's what we want to look at is, we do have a list that is coming from the grassroots, and then we have projects that come from Mr. Mitchell's area, and probably from your projects that come from IHS, projects from NTUA, projects from NECA, and how do we do that? How do we bring all that together and come up maybe with a priority system so we make maximum use and get the best quality of development we need either in the region or in the chapters? That's the way we're setting our plans, and we're working hard to do that with Rebecca and Dr. Knowles from Environmental Department. So with that, I don't want to continue on. I know that these guys are ready to make their presentation, but just in quick, I want to give you the quick view from the Indian Department of what we want to do, and also from the governor. Governor Susana Martinez sends her greeting. She really wants to develop jobs and stimulate, and this is one of the means that she's looking at to really help us to do this. And in working with her, she's also just what Senator Sosi mentioned. We do have proposals in there from different tribes looking at their youth program. I know that we do have fundings that come from other agencies that concerns wellness and so on, so that those are things that we're really, in my position and in where we're at now, we're starting to go ahead and look into those areas so that we can match and bring those programs out to your chapter areas. So without further ado, I think I've covered most of the things that I wanted to say. So basically, we have a big task ahead of us. I believe even if we just look on the Navajo side, on the reservation, the planning and design and so on, it even goes beyond $13.5 million. But we will show those to you as we make this presentation. Thank you.